Welcome to the Infinity Process Platform tutorial. In the previous instance of this tutorial, we've created the basic structure of our support case process. We've created a data structure of support case data, and we've linked this data structure to the individual steps of this process. In this instance of the tutorial, we will integrate applications with the two steps of the process that use applications, and we will set up an organization structure for the manual activities involved in the process. To integrate applications, we need to import the Java classes that provide us with the application functionality into our project workspace. To do this, we go to Window, Show View, Other, scroll up, so you see the General tab here. We open the General folder and we pick the Project Explorer. Okay, and I'm going to move this over to my left side and just dock it where my outline is. Here I see the structure of my support case project with all the different folders. When we set up the project, we said that Java classes would reside in our source folder, which is this folder here, Java Resources Source. The Infinity Process Platform comes with a sample Java class that can be used for the support case scenario. So we want to import it into this space. So what we want to do is we want to go to File, Import. We want to import from the file system. Next. And we're going to browse to a directory that resides within where we installed Infinity Process Platform. So I'm going to click Browse. I'm going to choose my computer, my C drive, Program Files, Infinity Process Platform. And as we scroll down, there's a folder Work here, a subfolder Support Case, and down here we find our source folder, which includes our Java classes. Okay, so I'm going to select the source folder, check OK. We will expand this here. I'm going to check the box right next to com, which will import all the subclasses that are in this folder. If we expand this here, we see everything that's going to be imported. The create support data application Java class and the support case Java class. Now we have to specify where we want this imported to. We browse to our support case folder and we select source, which is the Java sources folder. Okay, so your import dialog box should look something like this. And we're going to finish this. Now we can switch from our Project tab back to our outline. To integrate applications, we need to create these application objects for use in our workflow model. We can do this here in our toolbar by clicking on Application and then picking the application type that we want to create. For our purposes, we want to create a plain Java application. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to place it on the canvas here. My plain Java application by default is named plain Java application 1. This application is going to initialize our support case data structure before we hand it off to a call center agent that takes the case from a customer and enters all the necessary data. Let's double click on our plain Java application and rename it Support Case Factory. And in the plain Java application dialog, we now have to select which class of the plain Java application we want to invoke, what the completion method is, and what the constructor of the class is. So I'm going to click on Browse here, and we're looking for the creates support data application, which is part of the java.com.sungard.karno.support case class. You can browse Java classes simply by typing in a term, and the Infinity Process Platform environment is going to search through the available Java classes to refine your selection to what you've typed in. So we're going to choose this. Now that we've specified a class, we have to specify a completion method and a constructor for the class. The completion method in this case is create customer. So we're going to choose this. And the constructor is create support data app. Okay, we have just created our first plain Java application. Now all that's left to do is to connect this application with our first step of the process, init data. So I'm going to select the application, hit C for connect, and click on init data, and we're done with this step. And as you can see in my outline here on the left, init data had a red X before I did this, and now it just has an exclamation mark, which means that there are some warnings, but there are no major errors anymore with this particular step of the process. Now we need a second application because we have another automated step down here, notify customer. So we're going to create a notification application. Again, application. Let's create a plain Java application, place that down here. Double click on it. The class we want to use again is the create support data application. The completion method is notify customer in this case. And the constructor again is create support data application. Let's rename this to notification app. Okay. And connect it to the process step. And we're done. So what you see here is the creation of two applications, Support Case Factory and Notification. Both of these applications refer to the same Java bean that was delivered with Infinity Process Platform, but they use different completion methods. So you have a specific application for each operation that you want to invoke, at least within the workflow. The Eclipse development environment that Infinity Process Platform leverages gives you opportunities to edit these Java classes with the default perspectives that come with Eclipse. So a skilled developer can write code and deploy it in a process model all within the same environment. So we've created our support case factory, mapped it to the init data step, and we've created our notification application and connected it to the notify customer step. Now we need to set up an organization structure for the manual steps in the process: create case, analyze case, and deliver patch. There are several ways to do this. We can create organizational elements on the canvas here, or we can model an organization structure first and then reuse those elements. This is what we're going to do now. Let's switch the diagram that we're looking at. I'm going to click on default diagram here on the left-hand side in my outline, and this default diagram, if you look at the hierarchy, is at the same level as our support case process and all the other elements, which means that it can be reused across the different processes that our support case XPDL file may contain. So it's the right place to create an organization structure. To execute our support case process, we need three different organization elements. We need a company, we need the role of an engineer, and we need the role of a call center agent. So let's create these. I'm going to click on participants, role, and the first role I'm going to create is the role of a call center agent. Okay, here's the call center agent. The second role I'm going to create is the role of an engineer. Here's our engineer. And finally, I want to create an organization structure, and we call this Acme Corporation. Now I need to define the relationships between these three elements. I want to say that the engineer works for Acme Corporation. So I'm going to choose the engineer role. I press C for connect, and I connect it to Acme Corporation. And now I see a dialog box that allows me to choose whether the engineer works for or is the manager of Acme Corporation. I want to say that the engineer works for Acme Corporation. I'm going to select the call center agent, again click Connect, or press the C key, connect it to Acme Corporation, and I want to say that the call center agent is the manager of Acme Corporation. We defined the management relationship here between the call center and Acme Corp so that we can later on, should we want to, escalate process instances that our engineers cannot work on because maybe they are too busy. So this way you can create complex organization structures with multiple levels, multiple departments, multiple roles on a separate diagram. And if we explode our tree here on the left underneath participants, we see the participants that we have defined. And if we explode Acme Corporation, we see that engineers work for Acme Corporation, whereas the call center agent is at the same level as Acme Corporation, because the call center agent, or the role of the call center agent, is a manager within Acme Corporation. Now let's go back to our support case and assign these roles. The first step in the process, init data, is an automated step. The second step, create case, is carried out by a call center agent. So I'm simply going to drag my call center agent over to the canvas here. I'm going to click on connect, and I'm going to connect him to create case. The next step, analyze case, is a step for our engineers. So I'm going to choose the engineer role, hit C, and connect it to analyze case. And deliver patch can be done by any member of the organization. So I'm going to choose Acme Corporation. And you can see the relationship between call center agent, engineer, and Acme Corporation here. Although we could decide to just hide these lines from the diagram. And we're going to connect Acme Corporation to this last step. So we have defined two applications and linked them to our process steps. And we have defined 3 organization elements, 1 organization unit, and 2 roles. And we have linked them to our process steps. In the next part of this tutorial, we will talk about data mappings, because not every data element is necessary to carry out every other step of the process. And then we will debug this process and deploy it.